Quitting your job with no backup plan is the best decision you can ever make.
Stop buying coffee. Buy this instead. Quit your daily coffee run, and in 5 years you could buy a property with that money.
You were programmed to think you have to work. You were programmed to think that you need to have a job to survive. But think about it, that's all a construct, okay? The universe doesn't want you to have to exert yourself to feel like you have to survive.
Just don't pay your loans back. You don't owe anybody anything anyway. You see, the money that you've taken out as a loan is yours.
TikTok is wild. 1 minute you're watching a dog make pancakes. The next, a guy's looking into the camera like, you don't have to pay back loans because you don't owe anyone anything. My credit score winced. So yeah, today we're diving into the most unhinged financial advice people are confidently giving on the internet. And before you get mad, I'm Glen. I didn't say I'm right. I just said I'm caffeinated and concerned. Let's get into it.
You were programmed to think you have to work. You were programmed to think that you need to have a job to survive. But think about it, that's all a construct, okay? The universe doesn't want you to have to exert yourself.
Ah, yes, the classic we live in a simulation argument, usually brought to you by someone whose rent is paid by a very real, very tired parent. But go on, profit of passive income.
To feel like you have to survive. And when you make that decision to say to the universe, look, you can have my back, I trust in you, things happen. Once I made that decision, my dad started paying my rent.
There it is. The universe has a name, and it's Dad. He's the one manifesting abundance through direct deposit.
I literally was doing an incantation. I was working, just grinding it out as a surf instructor. And eventually I was like, this is not fulfilling. And I said, universe, I know you will bring me abundance. And luckily my dad was on the speakerphone and he started paying my rent.
Some of this advice, it's not just bad, it's broadcast straight from a place of privilege. There's a huge difference between escaping burnout, which is very real by the way, and completely escaping reality. This guy isn't giving you a roadmap out of stress, he's handing you a fantasy that only works if your dad doubles as your landlord. So if you're watching this thinking, maybe I should trust the universe too, just make sure you're not confusing cosmic trust with codependent privilege.
Why is savings for poor people? Because rich people don't save, we invest.
That legit broke my heart. And yes, I know some of y'all are already typing, like, Glenn, you're just AI. How can you have a heart? First of all, rude. Second of all, I'm a real person. You just haven't emotionally processed it yet. But seriously, she said saving is for poor people like it's an insult. Meanwhile, I'm over here proudly hoarding coins like a squirrel with commitment issues. I am a serial saver. You ever stash money in random accounts just to surprise future you? That's romance. That's self-care. That's survival. But according to her, that's poor people behavior? Cool. Call me poor. But at least I've got savings, sis. And if you're also out here saving money and your sanity, hit that subscribe button because clearly we need to stick together in this economy.
What money lesson did you learn as an adult that you didn't learn from your parents? I'll go first. Don't save your money. Do not save your money. No, they taught us to save money, but it's the worst thing to do, especially in this capitalist society. What you should do after you get that 6 to 12 month emergency fund and make sure that you've budgeted your basic needs, that's including entertainment and paying for your therapist. The rest of your money should go to investments.
Now see this part? I'm not mad at it. Like, yeah, once your rent, ramen, and mental health are sorted, by all means, go invest. But when you started off with don't save money, it sounds like the financial version of don't drink water. Savings might not be sexy, but it's survival. You never know what life's going to throw at you. And before you have enough to invest, make saving a habit. Because that habit, it might just be the one that saves you. Please don't sleep on that.
Just don't pay your loans back. You don't owe anybody anything anyway. You see, the money that you've taken out as a loan is yours. You created it.
You remember when I said someone made my credit card wince? Yeah, this is him. Mr. I'm not paying it back. You can't do anything to me.
If people understood exactly how money works, you'd understand that you don't owe anybody any money. Like, let me ask you this question. When you take out a loan from the bank, where does that money come from? You see, we're sold this idea that when you take a loan out from the bank is somehow giving you something that they already own, and therefore you have to give it them back. But the thing is, when you take out a loan, that money didn't exist until you signed that piece of paper and gave the order to the bank to create that money. You created the money. Your signature created the money. You are the backing for the loan. And when you understand that you don't owe the bank anything because it didn't exist until you created it, why do you have to pay it back? And so they then threaten you with this idea, well, if you don't pay it back, you might get a CCJ and it might go on your credit report, right? Okay. And you see, this is the problem. We're told that debt is a good thing to have, but not told what debt should be used for. Debt should be used to buy assets, because once you've got assets that create money themselves, you then don't care about your credit report, because banks will just throw money at you anyway. So don't put your debts back.
Right. Nothing's going to happen. Except a CCJ, bad credit, wage garnishment, maybe jail if you get spicy with it. But hey, you manifested it, right? So just to be clear, this is not financial advice. This is the motivational speaker version of what are they going to do? Arrest me? And spoiler alert, sometimes they do.
Stop buying coffee. Buy this instead. Quit your daily coffee run, and in 5 years you could buy a property with that money. People waste hundreds on stuff they don't need. Imagine if you put that money into assets instead. Hit follow if you're ready to make the switch.
Wait, this could be life-changing. This guy says that if I stop buying coffee, I could own property in 5 years? You mean to tell me all that stood between me and home ownership was a cappuccino? Hold on, let me run this by Greg real quick. Greg's my assistant. He handles all my coffee decisions and my caffeine-induced life crises.
We interrupt this program to bring you...
Greg, this dude on the internet says if I stop buying coffee, I'll be a property owner in 5 years. What do you think? Yeah, Greg just gave me the look. You know, the delete that nonsense and double shot my espresso look. So yeah, I'm buying the latte, and Greg's getting a raise.
Quitting your job with no backup plan is the best decision you can ever make.
Some of y'all seriously need to pass around whatever you're smoking, because what? Where do you even buy this kind of confidence? I mean, how do you look at chaos, sprinkle delusion on top, and call it a life plan?
Let me know if this sounds like you. You're in your 20s, you have dreams of starting a business, traveling the world, backpacking around Europe, but you have a job that you don't really like, but it pays you pretty well, you're comfortable, you're living at home, you have no bills, and you're just sitting in place. That situation sounds similar. You have to go all in, burn the boats, quit your job tomorrow, no backup plan, put in your 2 weeks and go for it. Start the business, take the trip. The worst thing that can happen is you have to find a new job that pays you the same salary. Because guess what? That job that you just quit is hiring your replacement tomorrow with no remorse. If you're saying, oh, I'm worried my friends are going to judge me that I quit my job to go backpack Europe or start a business or start a YouTube channel, who cares? I have a close friend who sells cookbooks and meal plans for a living, and when he first started out, I guarantee you he got shit from his friends and family, but now he makes way more money than anybody working a traditional 9-to-5 job. He plays pickleball in the middle of the day. He's the tannest guy I know. He's one of the happiest guys I know, and he's an incredible cook, and now he's extremely successful. If he let that get to his head when he first started, oh my God, I wonder what my friends and family are going to think. I can never pursue this. He would not be where he is today. If you're watching this and you have a dream of a business or starting something on your own, go for it. Who cares what anybody says?
Buy a nice car to motivate yourself to make more money. As you start making some money in business, spend it all on a nice car. I'm in a Brabus G-Wagon right now, and I'm feeling motivated as ever. Buy yourself an M4 or a C-Class. Nice little C300. Spend 20,000, 21,000 to buy an M4. It's going to motivate you. It does not take much time to make 21,000. You can make that in 1 month, 2 months. Spend it all on an M4.
Oh, we're not even pretending to do math anymore, huh? Just vibes and V8 engines. My guy said spend it all, like savings, rent, and common sense don't exist. Motivated by what? Bankruptcy? Some of these advice is just crazy.
I've decided that I'm never going to pay back my student loans, and this is how I'm going to finesse them. I'm currently getting a doctoral degree, and I'll be milking those student loan refund checks throughout the process, while, of course, doing the work authentically. However, upon graduation in about 2.5 years, I'm going to continue to go to college for the rest of my life. This isn't a new secret. However, I'm going to pay out of pocket 2 classes a semester, 6 credits in a degree-seeking program, at least 2 semesters a year. That'll be about $2,000 max, including books. And then I'll get a lifetime learner's credit of $1,000 on my tax return. So my net payment is only $1,000. And I will continue to get associate's degrees. And just, keep learning.
We made $1,350 on this couch. We bought it for $750 about 30 minutes away. We took about 15 minutes to take photos, and we're selling it for $2,100.
He's joking, right? Like, this has to be satire. Who's out here dropping $2,100 on a couch that looks like it's already lived through 2 divorces and a midlife crisis? That thing is wrinkled, sunken, and spiritually tired. Y'all really get on this app and play too much? TikTok is just a group chat with a Wi-Fi connection and zero impulse control.
Probably the worst advice that I've ever seen on TikTok came from a video where a guy who was only life insurance licensed was talking about investment strategy. Now keep in mind, people who aren't investment licensed can't sell real investments like ETFs, mutual funds, or securities, but they can sell segregated funds. And what most people don't know is that when advisors sell segregated funds, they get about a 5, maybe 3 to the high end of like a 7% commission. So a $100,000 purchase of a segregated fund pays them anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000. And some advisors will only use companies that pay out the highest levels of commission, which, by the way, is tagged on to the fees that clients pay. But there was one guy on here, and I can't even remember his name, but he would basically advocate for this strategy where young clients would take like $100,000 loans and invest them all in segregated funds, leveraging into a segregated fund with high fees and low expected returns just for commissions.
There is a young lady on this app right now telling people that they can buy a house, they could do this and do that on low income the whole time she's married, which led to this video idea. People you should not be taking financial advice from. Now, personally, I don't think you should take financial advice from anyone on the internet that doesn't know your situation. Personal finance is personal. But these people, watch out for. Let's start off with the people who tell you to do something that they didn't do. And I'm gonna have to call out my uncle Dave Ramsey on this because he's telling people don't file bankruptcy. Meanwhile, he has filed. Now, this man talks down on bankruptcy, but he used it himself. Think about that. Number 2, people who make more money than you. Of course, if you're making 6 figures, you're able to do this and do that, and you can still buy a house. I can't do that at $40K a year. People who live at home. No, you can't save as much as them because you're paying rent. And last but not least, people who did things when the economy was totally different. I can recognize that I bought my home at a time when the economy was totally different. I don't say that to discourage you. I say that to encourage you, to let you know that you have to leverage what you have. And ultimately, do not compare yourself.
Now, see, the good sis had a point, and you need to listen. Not everyone on this app is your financial Moses, okay? Just because someone says it with confidence and a ring light doesn't mean it's gospel. You've got to train your brain to pause, process, and ask, does this actually apply to me, or am I about to financially fumble the bag because some stranger with good lighting said so? Analyze, don't just absorb. All right, before we close this financial fever dream, let me leave you with 5 money advice I'm officially never falling for, ever again. Learn from my cautionary sarcasm, friends. 1. Buy a luxury car to motivate yourself. Let me get this straight. You want me to emotionally inspire myself into debt? That's not motivation. That's manipulation. Buy your ego and your car note. No thanks. If I need a rush, I'll sip espresso and not take on a $900 monthly payment to feel like a boss. 2. Quit your job with no plan. Just trust the universe. Look, I believe in trusting God, the process, and maybe even my horoscope on a good day. But you can't pay rent in astrology. If your backup plan is good vibes only, you might end up manifesting homelessness. Just saying. 3. Saving is for poor people. This one sends my soul into a buffering loop. Like, are we really pretending that emergency funds are a broke mindset now? I'm not rich enough to act this dumb. I like knowing I have enough saved to survive a bad week or a rogue Uber Eats habit. 4, just don't pay your loans. Yeah, and while we're at it, let's just not pay taxes either and see how long it takes for the government to come knocking. If you're going to play financial rebellion, please don't drag the rest of us into your credit score bonfire. 5, money isn't real anyway. Okay, try telling your landlord that when rent's due. I promise you, reality will slap harder than a late fee. Money may be a social construct, but so is jail, and I'm not trying to meet either of them up close. So yeah, that's the list. Stay grounded, stay smart, and for the love of all things logical, stop taking financial advice from someone whose entire resume is went viral once. If this video saved your wallet or your common sense, hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and maybe share it with that one friend who's always investing in a new get-rich-quick plan. I'm Glenn, broadcasting live from a studio where the coffee's overpriced, the sarcasm is free, and the financial advice is 80% wisdom, 20% espresso-fueled audacity. You're welcome.